Hello, this is Sasha from netbooknews.com, and finally I got my hands on a new smartphone. As you know, it's been mostly netbooks and MIDs recently, and for almost 9 months I haven't got a new smartphone. So I got this little fellow over here. That's a new Samsung H1. I just got it from Vodafone in Germany, and they're selling it with their new Vodafone 360 platform, which is a kind of front end and application that brings together all your social network contacts. But why don't we take a look at it and just do a little unboxing, even though I've been already using it for a while. There you go. That's this little device over here. 3.5-inch capacitive OLED display. Actually, I think the display is by far the best feature of the whole concept, of the whole platform. The colors are brilliant. It's very responsive, and with 800 by 480 pixel, this is something in terms of resolution you can only find on the Motorola Droid or Milestone. Maybe not only, so correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but this is a different resolution compared, for example, to an iPhone GS and all these other smartphones. So that's something that I really like. Let's take a quick look around the system itself. Right on the bottom, this is a kind of white LED that is kind of lighting up as soon as you're recharging the system. To be honest, a little bit annoying to me, especially when you're using it in a dark room next to your bed and you're trying to recharge your system. Holy moly, it's really like a light show and you feel like you're right on the dance floor somewhere. So don't recharge it next to your bed. Over here we have a micro USB connector, so you can also connect it to your computer, and you can also recharge it over this USB. These are the buttons for the volume. Pretty much nothing on the top except of the power button and a 3.5 millimeter headset plug-in. And yeah, here's a little search button, so you can open up a search application. And this is the button for the camera, which is on the back side. So this is a 5 megapixel camera with a flashlight. Actually, the pictures are really good. Even though that I'm not fond of taking pictures with a smartphone at all, but I was quite impressed by the picture or by the image quality of this. It's pretty light for a huge smartphone, in my opinion. If I compare this, for example, to my iPod Touch, sorry you Apple guys out there, I don't have an iPhone, I only have the iPod Touch, which is, well, an iPhone is only an iPod Touch with some phone functions, so I'm getting this one connected with my MiFi. I'm using Skype on it, so it's pretty much like a phone. It's a little bit bigger. If we compare this, let's see it. You can see, of course, my iPod Touch comes in a case right now, right? So it's still a little bit thicker, the Samsung H1, and yeah. In terms of weight, I think the iPod Touch is slightly lighter. My everyday working horse is this BlackBerry Bold for almost a year. As you can see, it already has some scratches on the surface. So I'm really using it all day long. And comparing this to the Samsung H1, which of course has no physical keyboard, only the virtual ones are on the display. I think that's a completely different concept, of course, and I'm not sure if I'm fond of this. So, but let's take a look at the rest of the box. Well, actually, I have to say, I left my recharger in Germany, so I'm kind of screwed. No, I'm not. I will tell you why in a second. Here are the manuals, quick manual and technical specification, and a manual of the Vodafone 360 platform, so you know what you can do with it. Here's a headset. There you go. Oh, actually, this is the headset extender. Here's the original headset. Otherwise, it would be a problem for you to connect or to use the headset at all, because it would be a very, very short cord. And here's this little USB cable that I'm using for recharging right now, because as I said, I left the recharger in Germany. So I'm using this one that you can also use for connecting the Samsung H1 to your computer. Let's take a quick look at the system and let's switch it on. Here we go. And let's see. Oh, it's a little bit dirty, the surface. 1 second. Here we go. Oh, that's me. Hi, guys. Glossy, glossy, glossy. So this is, of course, a fingerprint magnet, as you can see. And it takes quite a while to boot up. It's running a mobile Linux, something, well, I've never seen this OS before. I'm used to the BlackBerry OS, the iPhone OS, and Android. But this is something different. Unfortunately, my card is not roaming over here. I'm in Belgrade in Serbia at the moment. So let's get my pin in there, and let's get connected. But I think you're already getting an impression of how cool the screen is. This OLED display is just fantastic. This is something I would love to see on more devices in the future, especially also on mobile internet devices. So here we go. This is, by the way, the start screen. So on the start screen, you can see all my contacts. Each contact has a little hypercard or whatever, with different information on this. So I'm clicking on a contact, and I could send a message immediately. I could give a phone call, an email, or I can send out an invitation to invite this person to the Vodafone 360 network. So let's move over here to the next screen. These are all my Facebook contacts. So as you can see, it's synchronizing all your Facebook contacts online to the Samsung H1. So I can see always the pictures, the recent pictures of my Facebook contacts, and I can just scroll through them. Wow, this display is getting kind of dirty, or maybe these are my fingers, sorry about that. So we have to clean it again. Hope I don't have to do it every 5 minutes while I'm using it, but whatever. Yeah, so that's the view that you have, or that's the main front end of the H1. These are your Facebook contacts, and of course you have different options, like these little cards. Well, I can see the last update. The status update from Facebook is getting updated on these cards, and I can just flip through them. Or I can also use this kind of list view. That's Cameron, my friend from Tweaktown, a couple of other guys over here that you might know. So sorry guys for giving you 15 minutes of fame on a video, but they would survive it. So yeah, actually, the scrolling is pretty smooth. By the way, this is running a Texas Instrument. I think it's an OMAP 600 megahertz CPU. So yeah, quite some good performance in my opinion. It doesn't feel laggy at all at this moment here, but I'm going to show you a little bit more about this. So let's get back to the home screen. I can of course I can do some different groups. So this is my Facebook group. And over here I could start a family group and a friend group and business group and whatever. So these are Google contacts. Seems like I don't have a lot of Google contacts. So it was synchronizing my Gmail account, and I was using it in Germany. I'm using the Vodafone 3G network, which is a great network. It's super fast, and I think the Connect magazine just named it the best 3G network that you can get in Germany. But for synchronizing my Gmail, well, actually I also have to admit that I don't know, I have like some 2,000 or 3,000 emails in there. but it took hours and hours and hours and still not synchronized. Well, so let's see what else do we have here. Okay, and finally all of my contacts again. Of course, I can also go into kind of list view over here, as you can see. This is something Android users and iPhone users are familiar with, right? So yeah, that works pretty well. For those guys that love to use social networks, especially Facebook, this phone is of course definitely interesting. I'm missing something like Twitter or a friend feed application. So this is something that they really have to integrate into it. I need to use Twitter on my smartphone. So, but let's head over to the application interface. Here we go. So these are the applications. And if I'm giving it another click, I'm getting this list view again. And yeah, actually, this is pretty much the problem right now with the Vodafone 360 platform. The applications they offer in their shop are quite limited. So it's like 80% RSS feed applications from different magazines, a couple of games, and nothing that really wows me, where I'm getting super excited about this. And in my opinion, it would have been way better for Vodafone just to integrate the 360 application, or the 360 front end, as an application. Bring it to the Apple iTunes shop, sell it as an iPhone application, or use it on an Android device. I think it would be way better just to have this proprietary operating system that can't really take advantage of this huge momentum that the iPhone and the Android developer community has in these days. So I'm a little bit disappointed by these applications here and the way I can use them. And yeah, besides that, let me show you a little bit about our emailing on this device. So let's click on email. Here we are, and let's just compose one. You know, actually, that was pretty slow here. Okay, there you have this virtual keyboard, and of course we can also use this in this kind of cinema mode. And yeah, what can I say? If I would write down here, in my opinion, these keys are like super small again. I would love to see bigger keys, and it makes it hard for me to type, especially after I got so used to this BlackBerry board. Even though it seems like the keys on the board are way smaller, but actually they're not. Right? It's the layout of the keys. I just like to have real keyboard. These virtual keyboards are kind of hard for me to get around with. But maybe, you know, this is just a matter of experience. I have to get into it, and this might work out then. I mean, there's so many iPhone users out there that are using the virtual keyboard all day long, or HTC Magic users or whatever. So yeah, besides that, let's talk a little bit more about the technical specification of it. As I said, the digital cam has 5 megapixel. Pictures are pretty cool. Maybe I can show you some that I did before. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. That's the camera. And let's close this application. That's a rather good question now. Here we go. Let's try this again, if I can see the pictures. Maybe I'm just too stupid to handle it right now and I can't find the media folder. Where is it? I'm so prepared for this. Gallery, how about this? That makes sense, huh? So let's take a look at this one here. That's the McLaren F1, I think from last year. That's at the German Vodafone headquarters, and I think this picture it's really cool, right? And the light wasn't so good at all while I was in the building. So yeah, pictures are cool. In terms of technical specification, it has 16 gigabyte of integrated memory, and you can even get, I think you can even get another 16 gigabyte SD cards in there if you open it. Right. Oh, let's close this. I like this little feature over here that you can close the lid of the micro USB. It has like some 500 hours of standby time. Well, that's what they told me, and 6 hours of continuous talking time, and so that you can just talk for some 6 hours without hanging up and without recharging the system again. So it comes, you can get a micro SD or micro SDHC card in there. I said already, it comes with a Texas Instrument OAMP 600 megahertz CPU. And oops, it was just shutting down, so let's get it up again. This one is sporting 3G, and yeah, it's a pretty cool system, definitely. But I have to tell you, this little fellow here with Android plus the 360 interface from Vodafone would be a way better deal. Besides doing something new, why not joining a developers community and using Android on this? So I'm pretty sure that way more people would use it, because the lack of applications is just significant, and this is something that smartphone users are looking for in these days. So this is a Samsung H1. It costs around, I think, 360 euros. Around $500 in Germany at the moment. You can just buy it at Vodafone.de. Of course, you can also get it with a 3G contract, so it's only €1. And yeah, this is Sascha for netbooknews.com with a Samsung H1.